I was a slave until I died. Then I was reborn a god.
As fans noticed in the Superman post-credit scene, Mr. Terrific managed to close Lex Luthor's dangerous rift, but the fix wasn't quite perfect. The tiny misalignment left behind might look small to Superman, but it could become the ideal opening for Black Adam's return. Because the energies from Luthor's pocket dimension aren't just scientific, they carry cosmic and magical traces, they could easily interact with the ancient powers of Kahndaq. That mix could allow Black Adam to sense the unstable crack and find a way to exploit it. Where Superman sees only an imperfection, Adam could see a doorway to something much larger, and this doorway might lead to chaos, destruction, or even forgotten magical realms. What's clever is how this seemingly lighthearted comedic beat can double as a serious setup, bridging the gap to Black Adam 2 and giving DC Studios an organic way to bring the character back. Black Adam himself has a long history that makes this setup even more exciting. Created by Otto Binder and C.C. Beck, he first appeared all the way back in December 1945 in the Marvel Family comic. When DC licensed and later acquired Fawcett Comics characters in the 1970s, Black Adam became a central figure, standing out as one of Shazam's greatest enemies alongside villains like Dr. Sivana and Mr. Mind. Even though he was originally designed as a classic supervillain, Adam has endured as one of the most fascinating anti-heroes in the DC catalog. In his earliest form, Black Adam was shown as an ancient magical champion, actually the predecessor of Shazam himself. He pushed him into darker paths, and he fought his way into modern times to clash with Shazam and the Marvel family. However, since the early 2000s, writers like Jerry Ordway, Jeff Johns, and David S. Goyer have reinvented him. Instead of being just a one-note villain, Adam became a tragic, complex figure, a Kahndaqi anti-hero with a tarnished reputation trying to prove his worth. This updated backstory showed him as someone who once liberated his people from slavery and who now fights to balance his sense of justice with the brutal ways he enforces it. That new portrayal helped raise Black Adam's profile in the DC universe. He became a major part of stories like Justice Society of America, Villains United, Infinite Crisis, and the long-running weekly series 52. His role grew so much that when DC relaunched its titles under Infinite Frontier in 2021, Adam was even placed on the Justice League. That's quite the leap for someone who once only showed up as a one-off villain. By 2009, his influence was undeniable, with IGN ranking him the 16th greatest comic book villain of all time. Outside of the comics, Adams has had just as much of an impact. He's been featured in animated shows, films, and video games, voiced by talents like John DiMaggio, Gary Cole, Joey Neighbor, and Fred Tatasciore. More recently, Dwayne Johnson lent his voice to the character in DC League of Super Pets and then starred in the live-action film Black Adam. Johnson's version gave the character more mainstream recognition than ever before, cementing him as a cinematic force in DC's roster. If we rewind a bit, Adam's publication history is interesting in its own right. In the Marvel Family #1, the character's origins were laid out. Teth Adam was an Egyptian chosen by the wizard Shazam, who believed him to be morally pure. When Adam said the magic word, he became Mighty Adam, empowered by gods. Originally, those powers came from Greco-Roman deities, but later iterations tied them to Egyptian gods. That detail alone shows how the character's mythology has shifted over time. Of course, things didn't go smoothly. The sheer magnitude of Adam's power corrupted him, leading him to overthrow the pharaoh, seize the throne, and vow to dominate humanity. The wizard, enraged, renamed him Black Adam. Unable to revoke Adam's power, Shazam instead banished him to the farthest star in the universe. 5,000 years later, Adam fought his way back to Earth, only to face the new Marvel family. The ensuing battles revealed just how dangerous and relentless Adam could be. Still, he wasn't invincible, he could be tricked. Uncle Marvel cleverly got Adam to say Shazam, stripping him of his powers and leaving him to crumble into dust. That origin cemented Adam as an unstoppable force and a mirror to Captain Marvel, now known as Shazam. Their costumes even highlighted their duality. Adam's was nearly identical, except it was black and gold instead of red and gold. Now, bringing things back to the present, rumors are swirling once again about Dwayne Johnson's future with DC. Despite Black Adam 2 being shelved, reports suggest Johnson may not be finished. The buzz is that he could return as a variant of Black Adam, not the exact same version we saw in 2022. If this is true, it would allow him to keep the role while also fitting into James Gunn's new DCU vision. Even more exciting, whispers hint at a possible showdown with David Corenswet's Superman. That would keep alive the promise of the Superman vs. Black Adam clash fans have been waiting for, just in a new context. Part of why these rumors are picking up steam is what happened in Peacemaker Season 2. The show boldly retconned the Justice League cameos, reshaping the lineup entirely. Because of this, fans started wondering if Gunn could do something similar with Black Adam. After all, the movie wasn't tightly locked into Zack Snyder's DCEU. Apart from Amanda Waller's appearance, it mostly focused on new characters like Hawkman, Cyclone, Atom Smasher, and Dr. Fate. That makes it much easier to slide Johnson's Atom into the DCU without causing messy continuity issues. Originally, nobody really knew what Black Adam 2 would look like. Johnson even admitted on Twitter that the sequel wasn't happening. Still, the first movie planted seeds. Adam taking down Sabbac, forming an uneasy alliance with the Justice Society, and of course, the huge post-credit tease with Superman. Fans naturally assumed this meant a battle between Cavill's Superman and Johnson's Atom was on the horizon, but with Cavill stepping away and Corenswet stepping in, that idea seemed dead. Even so, the groundwork is still there, and Gunn could retool it however he wants. Another possibility lies in the upcoming DCU shows. Since Amanda Waller played a part in Black Adam, Johnson could appear in the Waller series Gunn as planned. Or he could pop up in Peacemaker Season 2, which would be especially fun because of his wrestling history with John Cena. Their dynamic alone would bring a bunch of hype. The real obstacle is Johnson's pay scale. He's one of the highest paid actors in the world, often pulling in tens of millions per movie. That kind of budget is hard to justify for a streaming series. So, while fans love the idea of him showing up in Waller or Peacemaker, the more likely path might be another film appearance down the road. Still, James Gunn hasn't shut the door. When Johnson posted about the cancellation of Black Adam 2, Gunn replied warmly, saying he was excited to collaborate in the future. That's not something a studio head says if the relationship is truly over. It feels more like they're keeping the door open for the right moment. In the meantime, the DCU could easily explore the other characters introduced in Black Adam. Hawkman stood out as a leader figure with untapped potential, while Atom Smasher and Cyclone brought fresh energy. Even though Dr. Fate sacrificed himself, comic book logic always leaves room for a new Fate to emerge. These characters could thrive in Gunn's universe while still keeping a thread back to Black Adam. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.